Gigi the vegan here. I am making my favorite nut-based milk, which is called walnut milk. Yay! Simply amazing. I always say that, you know, walnuts remind me of our brain. It is a brain food and it's quite delicious. Before we get started, you just need a few simple things here to make your nut-based milk. You'll need, of course, if you're making walnuts, I have 1 cup here. And because I like to use a natural sweetener, I'm using dates. And also I have about 2.5 cups of water, almost 3, it's up to you. How thick or how you like to, you know, how you like the consistency of your milk, it's up to you. Then I have a nut milk bag to strain what's left over when you're making your nut-based milk, and also another container to use to strain it. And then to pour it back into whatever nut-based milk you're using. Make sure that it is raw. Most nuts in this country, unless you order them from a nut farmer, that most of them are are cooked, and so you want them in the raw form, because in the raw form, then all the nutrients and all the vitamins, all the minerals are still packed inside. But once they process, a lot of them lose that. And I know, I have a few people asking me that, they purchase nuts in different stores that say, some of them say raw, some say, just nuts. However, remember, you want them raw. And I actually let these soak about 24 hours, and then I sprouted them, and they went into my dehydrator, and I dehydrated them as well. But you don't have to do that. It's simple. Let them clean them, of course, and then let them soak overnight, then you'll be ready to go. So let's begin. I have again 1 cup of walnut, and then I'm going to add about, this should be, I think about 3 cups. That's a whole lot. But again, for you, you can use 2 cups. It's all up to what you want to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop my dates in here as well. I have about 4 round dates. I kind of soaked them because they were a little hard, and I have the small ones, so I did roughly about 4. If I had large dates, then I probably would do 2, maybe 1. It depends on how sweet I want it, okay? And I'm using my Vitamix, which is a high-speed blender. And let's go. I start off on 1, just to get things going, and then I go ahead and speed it up. About 60 seconds, sometimes 20 seconds, depends on how I feel. But then, once you get the hang of it, you'll see. Now, that's what it looks like on the inside. How beautiful is that? Beautiful, right? So, again, when you make nut-based milk, it's so much better than cow's milk, any animal milk. Most animal milk, of course, causes inflammation, it's mucus. So basically you're putting mucus into your body, the milk is sticky, you know how it feels, then you can imagine what it does, what diseases it causes in the body. It causes several different things, from, like I mentioned, inflammation, which is asthmatic, respiratory issues. And some people are lactose intolerant, so this is a good source of milk. And then you're also receiving all of the nutrient benefits from it, So here we are, my nut milk bag. So just squeeze, very gentle. I've learned the hard way. I put a lot of pressure on it before and it went all over the place. But this way, get it down. And just some side note, walnuts actually helps to reduce inflammation, packed with omega-3s, protein, minerals, copper and zinc. And it is a good source of antioxidants. You talk about a real superfood. That's what it's amazing in antioxidants. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And then with what's left over here, you know, I get an opportunity to make pancakes for my kids, my grandbabies. They're gonna love it. Or I can use it in cookies. Or I can just dehydrate it and make a walnut flour as well. So, okay, I'm gonna set this off to the side. And I'll go ahead and pour some in the glass. And I'm gonna let my fabulous son try some and tell us what he thinks. Look how pretty that is. Charles, you wanna try some? Homemade walnut milk, you can't get any better than that.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's great.
Delicious? Tell everyone out there how good it is.
It's great without the extra additives
Yeah.
from the grocery store. And
Exactly.
it's fast.
And it takes what? It was almost 5 minutes or less to make your own nut-based milk at home. And like Charles mentioned, it's much better than buying, you know, your milk out of the store, especially when you look at, you know, almond milk or whatever milk that you're buying, because it's high in sugar. They put a lot of sugar in there, as well as salt, sodium. And you can make your own. It's much cheaper. And then you put in what you want. And you can add, like I mentioned before, I only use dates. I'm a vegan. I don't use any honey or anything like that. You can add stevia. You can add maple syrup. It's up to you. And again, this is walnut nut milk. You can, you know, make almond milk. You can make other milks the same way. Walnut, almond, cashews. Cashews is very silky, have a great rich flavor as well. And then, you know, I like pecans. You know, some people say pecans. Those are delicious, and I like to mix them sometimes. I would have walnut and pecan together. That's my #1 go-to. But here we are, and thank you for joining me, and I hope this has been a helpful video for you. Follow me on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and subscribe below. Thank you. I'm going to pour it in our container. I love these little, they remind me of little water containers or milk containers back in the day. These are beautiful. And remember, your walnut or nut-based milk pretty much stores for roughly about a week. So make sure that when you make it, you can make smaller batches than what I made. Just make enough that, you know, you'll be able to drink in a week. That way you don't waste anything. And that feels right on up. I know that Charles and I had a little bit to drink. So. And there you are. Remember, all of us have a doctor in us, and you are your own doctor. Thank you.